Man, oh man, we are live. Broncos country, what is popping? Can you guys believe it? The time is here. We are 30 minutes from kickoff on the biggest game for the Denver Broncos since Super Bowl 50. I'm going to keep saying that, hopefully for the rest of the season, right? We're going to continue. Well, hopefully not for the 2 weeks after this. Hopefully I'll say this, this week and then next week. We can chill out and it's not as big of a game until we ultimately get to the playoffs. But man, oh man, I'm excited. We're going to take you about probably 10, 15 minutes before kickoff. So I'm not going to be super long on here, but just wanted to, you know, get on here, hear you guys' thoughts, see how Broncos country's feeling overall about this game. I made a video yesterday, so check it out on the channel if you haven't. And if it's your first time tuning in and it's live, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But man, it is about that time, Broncos country. It really is. Broncos getting ready to take on the Los Angeles Chargers, a Chargers team that I think we're catching at a really, really good time. Now, you can never overlook a Jim Harbaugh coached team, period. He's always going to have his guys prepped, ready to go. They're going to make it difficult. They're going to want to make the game dirty, tough, physical, very blue collar style team. This is not the Chargers of old where, you can see them charging or, all of the different memes and the ways that we made fun of them. Not going to be anything like that. Not with this man at the head. And for the past, I think 14 or 15 years, the Broncos have split the season series at least with the San Diego / LA Chargers, right? And we're looking to keep that streak going in a very much needed fashion as they obviously beat us earlier in the year. Oh man, I feel good about this game for so many different reasons. I feel like we're such a different team now than we were, back in week 6 or whenever it was that we played them at home. I love the fact that it is on a short week. It's kind of, Chargers have played 11 straight weeks since their bye week. So they've been playing a lot of football. The Broncos are a little bit more fresh, obviously. Not as many debilitating injuries like you'd seen in the past years as well. So I want to know how you guys are feeling. What are your keys to the game? Ironically, and they were talking about this on the fan earlier today, and I thought it was really funny because it kind of gone through my head prior to that. The Broncos, in a weird way, like the advantage that they have on paper or what it looks like right now against the Chargers is, have been their biggest weakness all year. And that's the running game. That's the fact that we actually have an advantage when it comes to running the football. Because as bad as we've been, believe it or not, the Chargers have been worse. Since J.K. Dobbins has gotten injured and went on IR, he has not been the same player. They have not been the same team at all. Not even close. Gus Edwards has not been able to get near the production that you would expect from a starting running back. Kamani Vidal has been more of that gadget role type of player. So, man, it's there for the taking. The Broncos need to figure out a way to get the run game going, though. The Chargers have shown some vulnerability in the run at times, but we need to really, simplify it, bring it back to basics on a short week. That's the best thing that you can do, and just stay with it, stay committed to it. It's going to help protect the football. It's going to be that kind of game. It's going to be that grinded out, tough, fourth quarter type of game. The run game is going to really help, keep the offense in rhythm. If they can keep it going, it's going to help limit or eliminate completely the turnovers, which would be obviously huge. And in addition to that, it's going to be one of those situations where, you start to wear the team down. This is, like I said, this is a team that's coming off of 11 weeks straight. And it's crazy because, and they're beat up. They've been playing a lot of football. You've kind of got to flip the script on them and say, we want to just wear you down. We want to dispense justice, take their soul from these people. And we had the opportunity to do that tonight. And I want to see that more than anything as a Bronco fan. Obviously, winning is the number one thing that I want to see. But if I could change anything about this team right now, it would be their ability to run the ball. December football, the weather starts to get cold in places. Teams are going to start playing you scrappy. They're going to want to keep the game close and muddy, especially in the playoffs. And nothing will alleviate that more than being able to run the ball and run the ball at will. It's one of the reasons why I still, even with all of the injuries that the Detroit Lions have been facing, even recently with David Montgomery, their ability and their commitment to running the football, whether it be with Jahmyr Gibbs or Craig Reynolds or the Vaki guy or David Montgomery, if he does end up coming back, it doesn't matter. That run game is elite. It's the reason that I think that the Buffalo Bills should be the Super Bowl favorite because they've revamped their offense to be around Josh Allen and the run game more than anything. Obviously, they can still beat you in the air, but their ability to run the ball is going to, make them, in my opinion, the clear-cut favorite to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC. And obviously, the Baltimore is a really dangerous team for a lot of different reasons, but Derrick Henry is adding a new element, a new dimension to that team that Lamar Jackson needs more than anything when it comes to playoff football. And that's what makes it so intriguing. Nobody goes in there into playoff football saying, oh, this is the best air attack. They're going to win the game because of that. They do it. Usually the teams that have the ability to run the ball and run the ball at will are the ones that are ultimately going to be, make a difference, and they're going to be the Super Bowl favorites. Now, do I think we should be Super Bowl favorites? No. Do I think we're Super Bowl contenders? Well, when you get into the playoffs, you're technically a contender. But not just for this season, guys. Moving forward ahead into the future years, I want to see this Broncos team be able to run the ball and run the ball well. But it's going to be huge tonight. It's going to be imperative. The Chargers are not a team that turns the ball over a lot, right? They really don't. Any kind of turnover that you get from them is going to be a huge bonus. I think it's going to work greatly to your advantage. And so you want to make sure that you're very careful with the ball too. That doesn't mean that you need to be overly conservative. I do believe it's going to be a more conservative game plan than what we've seen. But you need to really emphasize taking care of the football and the penalties. This game really is more important more than others because, you never want to rely on the defense taking the football like it has been over the last few weeks, right? That's just living by fire, and it's not realistic to sustain that. But relying on your defense to force turnovers, at least one or two a game, is very realistic. This is going to be one of those where that's going to be a tall task to be able to ask this defense to even get 2 turnovers. And so we're going to have to, be on our P's and Q's as well. So let me know in the comments, guys. How are you guys feeling? We got a few people joining, so I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I really want to know where you guys' head at. I want to know, what your thoughts are, any score predictions, keys to the game, whatever it is. All I know is on my end, I got the bottle of tequila ready upstairs. I'm going to probably need it to calm some nerves and keep myself chill for the at least the first 3/4 of the game. When it comes to the fourth, I want to be a little bit more locked in and a little bit more focused. But man, I'll tell you guys, I said it yesterday. If we end up getting this win, we punch a playoff berth tonight. I might come on live here after the game and take 9 celebratory shots, 9 of them, 1 for each season of not making the playoffs and how many years it's been. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how I feel about it tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to it today. Can't drink like we used to back in the day. Not at all. But anyway, some quick game inactives, guys. I wanted to pull this up here earlier. I should have probably had it prepped, but I was kind of finishing up some last-minute things before I hopped on. But similar inactive list to last week. Matt Henningsen was actually one of the players that was elevated from the practice squad, along with my boy Blake Watson, baby. So it's Blake Watson's season officially. I love it. I really hope he at least gets a few opportunities tonight. But Matt Henningsen was elevated, but he ended up being a game day inactive. That kind of tells me that maybe they were slightly concerned about what the Broncos, what John Franklin Myers, what the status for him was. So that could be the case. But I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. But it looks like John Franklin Myers is good to go. DJ Jones is good to go. The inactive list is going to be Riley Moss, Julian McLaughlin. We obviously knew about that. Levi Wallace. Is that boy in the doghouse or what? Second straight week inactive after a putrid performance. Lavelle Bailey is also going to be on the inactive list. Frank Crum. And like I had said earlier, Matt Henningsen. So, it's going to be full-blown Audric Esteve and Javonte Williams. Now, I think a lot of us, I don't want to give a lot of people false hope, right? Because what happens is you start thinking to yourself, well, Javonte's been terrible this year, and Audric is finally going to get an opportunity. And so logic would tell you that this is going to be a game where Audric Estime should get 15 to 20 carries, and I would personally love to see that. But Sean Payton's proven one thing. He likes to play with guys that he trusts, that he feels comfortable with, that he's all about, he just feels like he can not have to worry about whatever play he calls. He feels like the back would at least understand and know what to do, or be able to pass protect and not screw up a protection, and not be able to, make that big mistake or even fumbling and putting the ball on the turf. So I'm hesitant to think that that's going to be the case. I don't know if that's going to ultimately happen, but I would like to see a lot more Audric, because I think he's deserved it. I think the run game's been so bad. It's like, why the hell are we not? Why the hell are we not doing it? And then it's going to be a Damari Mathis and Chris Abrams drain type of game too. What a lot of Bronco fans don't know is Damari Mathis actually played similar amount of snaps last week as Chris Abrams drain did. They just had very different packages and different coverages that they're asking the guys to do. I thought both guys played super well, so I'm excited to see them back in action here today. I definitely want to see PS2 on Ladd McConkey the entire game. Ladd McConkey is one of those players where, the first time we played him, I felt like, man, he's still a rookie. I think Riley Moss or a combination of the two would be able to stop him. Yeah, well, he kind of got us in a lot of different, and they did a good job moving him around and getting those matchups on us. But I want to see PS2 on Ladd McConkey the entirety of this game. No doubt about it. Point blank period. That's what I want to roll with. And so hopefully that's going to be the case there. And then you can rely on a combination of Chris Abrams drain and Damari Mathis to cover, other guys like Josh Palmer or whoever it is that might be playing. They do have a tight end out. I don't know why I keep forgetting his first name, but his last name is Smart. He had about 6 catches last week against the Buccaneers. He's a former quarterback that actually transitioned over to the tight end position. He's a big wide receiver, but he looked really good. He looked like a weapon that they liked to use. He seemed like he had a knack for getting open. Like I say, he's a really, really big, tall, kind of long player. So watch out for him. He might be somebody that could give us some issues tonight that we really need to make sure that we are very aware of. But it does look like, Quentin Johnson is ultimately going to play for this team. So he's going to be a threat also, especially down there in the red zone and the deep shots over the top. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm going to grab a bite to eat, pour myself a little drink, and get ready for this Thursday night banger. But Broncos country, enjoy it as much as you can. Y'all deserved it, man. It's been a long, long time of waiting, for sure. Many, many years. It feels like forever. And regardless of what the result of the game is, just try to enjoy being in this position. Hopefully we can get used to it to the point where it just becomes kind of another season. We wait for the postseason. But let's get this dub, baby. Let's put the good vibes out there into the energy. And I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Hope you guys have a great one. We'll tune in. We're definitely going to have a post game. I don't know if it's going to be with David from David Talks Broncos and Jeremy. Doubtful, just because of the time difference for David now. And I know the game sometimes ends pretty late. We'll definitely be on tomorrow. But regardless, I will be here post game, breaking the game down tonight, 100%. All right, guys. Have a great one. Spend time with those you love. Go Broncos, baby. Let's get this. Until next time. Peace out.